Right, first things first. Cold one. Carlsberg tonight. 4 point something is it? Fucking 3.8 is this? I don't know, I don't fucking remember. But anyway. Get that in shot. Turn that around there, get the ring pull in shot. Get the top of the glass in shot. Fuck's that? Sometimes you get these lagers. I know lagers not, you know, you don't get a head like bitter and ale and all this. But I've noticed with Carlsberg, you know, there's no head or anything, but no, what the fuck? Oh yeah, Carlsberg. But Carling, some of them you get, they're fucking hell, they're frothy, even though you've chilled them. You know, you've really chilled them. And you can tell when you crack it open, and you get your glass on an angle and you're pouring it, it's fucking frothy as fuck. But that's not that, was it? So yeah, this is a vlog about Blackthorn. And some of you, well, one of commented saying, is this a re-upload? It is a re-upload, because first upload was in 2008, was it? Oh, fucking no. What am I doing? No. I don't know, anyway, it's about 3 or 4 years ago when I uploaded. I had some old photos, we did a photo shoot. Fucking crazy in them days. Never mind the Sunday roasts. And it was just me and Lee was there then. In the video, that's Lee. And there was me, Lee, Jeff, and Trev. Trev was the owner of the business. He owned the business, but I used to manage it. He was a builder's merchant. Well, he started off just making sheds and dog kennels and all that. But then he got me on board and he turned it into a builder's merchant. That was one of the very first builder's merchants that I ran to. There was Dufferin Supplies, Dufferin Building Supplies, ECG Supplies, Dufferin DIY, fucking hell, loads of them. That was the first one, Blackthorn, then it was Blackthorn Building Supplies. It's not there now, obviously, top of the Colmendi Industrial Estate. Yeah, so, like I say, Trev used to just fuck off. And I have got some tales. I'm replying to some comments saying I could write a fucking book about that place, the stuff we used to do and the stuff we used to get on. That we used to do, and I could literally like write a book about that place. Fucking laughs we used to have there, because Trev, he used to fuck off. He was never there. Very rarely was there. I used to open up. I used to have the keys, and I used to literally run the place. And one day, or one fucking week, well, one day he never turned in. He used to always sort of turn in about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, something like that. And he'd go into his office, he'd be on his phone, and then he'd fuck off. And one day he never turned in, so we were fucking thinking, you know, that was one of his things. And the next day, never turned in. Next day, never turned in, never phoned, nothing. I was phoning his, well, he used to fucking live, you know, he used to move about and live and rent flats and stuff like that. No answer, and this and that. We literally thought he was fucking dead. We were thinking, what the fuck are we going to do? You know, his business and all that. And then about a week later, he pulled in, as usual, you know, about 10 o'clock, half 10, something like that. And I said, where the fucking hell have you been? And he said, I got up Monday morning. He says, fucking pissed off. He says, so we went, I can't remember where he said he went now. It's, like I say, this is late 80s. And he fucked off on holiday, packed his bags, and he went somewhere, not abroad, but he jumped in the car and he fucked off to some hotel. He never told me. We were there thinking, fucking hell, he's dead. But the things I could tell about the tales, and I'm sure I have done, I'm sure I have said, you know, on this, or building site tales, I think was one of them. or may have included Blackthorn. But I may do some videos of just Blackthorn. You know, the fucking other stuff. Lee, he used to say to me, he used to really enjoy going to work. He used to look forward to it. The fucking stuff we used to do. To fucking piss about on that. As you can see from this short video shoot, and it was the late 80s, 1988, somewhere on there it was. But that was just me and Lee. Jeff had left them. It was just me and Lee that was running the place. Trev, like I said, still owned it, but he wasn't there. He was fucking about. But late 1988, the late 80s. But fucking hell, it's funny. And Dave, I'd say there was another lad, Davey. He used to drive the wagon. Well, we always used to sort of drive the wagon and do deliveries. But he used to fucking lock himself in the wagon, switch the engine on, switch the heaters on full blast, and have a kip. Because it started off when he first opened, it was a bit quiet, it was very quiet there. So that's why we used to fucking amuse ourselves. And we'd be there sneaking up to him, and he'd be there. He'd be on a sly look, you know, we were trying to get into the cab and all this. One time I was on the phone in the office, and you know, it was all health and safety, it was all above board, but we used to have fire extinguishers there, and you get a green one if I remember rightly, and it blasts like CO2. It's not water, you know, you use it for like petrol fires and oil fires and stuff like that. And it was Jeff then. I was on the phone taking an order for a delivery, something or other, and he fucking kicked the door in. He came in with this fire extinguisher and put it on full blast and fucking blasted me. And another time, Jeff and Lee were always playing hide and seek. She's got all the stuff there and the materials and timber and all this lot. And they would, you know, one would go to the bog and we'd count a minute or something, and then the other one would hide. And then I'd, you know, say, I never used to join in with their hide and seek games. I'm sure I've talked about this before, maybe on the channel, but anyway, fuck it. And, yeah, like I say, one would be in the bog, and then I'd wait and say Lee would hide. Then I'd knock on the thing and say, right, Jeff, and they got so many minutes to find them and all this fucking bollocks. And one time, Jeff, I suggested it actually. He hid, we had an industrial vacuum, fucking big massive thing it was. We used to connect it to the planer. It was a big planer, it was about 6, 10, 8 foot long. Big, you could plane 8x4, 16 footers, 8x4 timber, put that through it. It was a big fucker it was. And the pipe going to it was, it must have been about 6 inches. But it was a vacuum cleaner. It's just, as you put in the timber through the planer, all the chip-ins and sawdust and that you were shaving off got sucked up, and it used to go into the top and then down into this massive plastic bag. You used to put a big plastic bag and put a strap around it, and it used to fill up, but it used to go at the top and down this like canvas sacking and then into the plastic bag. So I suggested to Jeff, you know, they were running out of fucking places to hide. And I says to Jeff, I says, hide in the vacuum cleaner, take the canvas sack off, climb up, stand on the top of it, and I'll put the sack down on you and restrap it. He'll never find you there. So that's what he did, and he was standing there, he was inside this fucking vacuum cleaner thing. Anyway, Lee came out, and he couldn't find him, obviously there's no sign of the fucker, and he was there dead still. So at the end of the time, I says to Lee, we're all quiet. And it was like that big thing on top of the vacuum cleaner. The plastic bag was underneath, and he was inside it. And I went to Lee and says, I pointed to it. So what we did was we connected it to the planer. Well, no, tell a lie. We didn't connect it to the planer. We weren't putting stuff through. But there was a massive. We didn't always connect it to the planer. sometimes we just do block planing and this and that, or through the rip saw. We used to use that with it as well. But mainly it was the planer, and it was a big fucking pile of sawdust. There must have been sacks of sawdust there. So I says to Lee, I says, switch it on and I'll suck the fucking sawdust through. So that's what we did, we switched it on. And I was there sucking all this sawdust up, and you could see the bag going, and you could hear him screaming. It's like, it wasn't dangerous, it wasn't life threatening, but you know, he was fucking screaming because he couldn't get out. He was inside this canvas fucking top of this vacuum cleaner thing. You could hear him screaming. So anyway, sucked up this fucking sawdust and that, so we switched it off. Fucking bastards, he was going, so I unclipped the, you know, took the bag off. He was fucking head to toe, he was white. It was in his eyes, everywhere. He was covered in sawdust, and I'm sure he went home. He fucked off home. He couldn't work in that. He was absolutely covered, head to toe. He was like a fucking snowman. Fucking hell, things we used to do. And then one time, I don't know the reason why, but Lee was sulking. He was in one of his sulks. And he went to the bog, and he locked himself in. And I'm sure I've told these stories before, but anyway, he goes again. And the lock on the door on the inside was one of these little tower bolts. You know, these little small little things, little tiny fucking thing. You know, like 1/4 of an inch fucking bolt on them. Little tiny bastard thing it was. And like I say, he locked himself in. And it had a handle, a latch, you know. And we were knocking on the door, and oh, come on out, you fucking this and that. And he was all quiet, and he was bloody sulking away. For some reason, I don't know why. But... And so I says to Jeff, I says, you go away about 20 feet away. He says, and run at the door, and leap at the door, and smash the door in. You know, because that little lock, that'll give way. You know, that'll just break, and the door will fly open. And Lee'll fucking shit himself. He'll have such a fright. So I sneaked up to the door, went to Jeff like that, and I turned the latch down, held it down, so that it was free. The only thing that was holding that door was something like that. It must have been about 1/4 of an inch of this little tiny tower bolt. And Jeff comes running at the door, and he jumped up, and on his shoulder, he went smash! He smashed into the door, and the fucking door came off its hinges. That little bolt held, and the 2 hinges. And Lee, he was sitting on the bog, not having a crap or anything like that. He was just sulking, and he had a hell of a fright. But that's just fucking hell, some things we used to get up to. Like I say, I could write a book about that place. Absolutely fucking hilarious. So yeah, and it was in the late 80s, but just in the photo shoot, that was just me and Lee. But happy days, I tell you. Fucking hell, it was bloody. And when the Jehovah's Witnesses used to arrive there, some of the things we used to say to them, fucking hell. We used to say, bloody hell, oh yeah, I'd love to, you know, come in. I'd say, you know, come to the office, and I'd look at the clock, and they fucking hell's at the time. I've got appointments, and you know, I've got to go and give blood. And their fucking faces. And then they'd say, oh, have you got any leaflets and all these booklets and things? And they'd hand everything out, and they'd look at these, and they'd go, oh, that's brilliant. That, you know, at the moment we've got no bog roll in the bog. These will come in handy. And they were, fucking hell. But yeah, fucking hell, it's funny. Things we used to do. But like I say, Trev, he was never there. And another time, me and Lee, it was a quiet day. You'd get days, fucking hell, it used to be busy and orders and this and that. And you get days where you'd be fucking hell, you'd be bored. So that's why we used to do, you know, all this fucking things we used to do, like. So I decided, well no, was it Lee? Or he had the ping pong ball, ping pong bats and this and that. So we got a sheet of 8x4 ply, And we put it on some trestles, and we made, it wasn't a net, we got another piece of ply, put it across about 6 inches or whatever, acting as a net, and we made a ping pong table, you know, fucking whatever, because he had the bats, we brought in a couple of bats and a ball, ping pong balls and all that, and so we were there because, you know, this was towards the afternoon because we were bored shitless because, you know, there's no customers and fuck all like that. And so we set up, you know, so we were there like that, got the ball, and we were there playing away and this and that, and oh, you do this, and I'd be playing, and we had like a long sort of rally, they call it, or whatever, you know, a fucking thing. Ding, 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 ding. We were there like that, and one of us missed, obviously, and we stopped. And we turned round, there was about fucking 10 customers had come in, and we hadn't noticed them, and they'd come in, they were all fucking standing like that, watching us playing table tennis inside a fucking builder's merchant. Fuck. And another time when we were bored, Jeff was with us then, and he had some fucking porn VHS videos, you know, the big fucking cassette tapes. Which was then, you know, VHS recorders and players and whatever, there's no DVDs, like. So he fucked off home, and he brought his telly, he brought his video player, and he brought a load of fucking porn tapes. So when he set it all up, and we were all sitting on the bench watching fucking porn. Fucking hell. Happy days though, I tell you. Happy days. Another time, Jeff, he used to, like a challenge, he used to, you know, we used to sort of challenge him, you know. And one day we said to him, that's when we were all there then, me, Dave and Lee and Jeff. And we were fucking, you know, having a cup of tea and butties and whatever, we were outside, and we said to Jeff, I bet you can't put a bag of cement on your shoulders and run around the building, because if you see the video, you see the unit, the building, Blackthorn, 20 times. Bet you can't do it. He says, I fucking can. He says, I bet you can't. I fucking can. He goes, so you bet like how you get a bag of cement. And in them days they were 50 kilo, and the 25s now, they're half the size. But like I say, in them days they were 50 kilo. And off he'd go, he'd run around, so we would just sit down and so what do you reckon? And you know, did you see that on the telly last night? And we were talking, having a fucking butty and a cup of tea, and then Jeff, he'd go past, that's his first lap. And we didn't give a shit, you know. And then we were talking, yeah, so anyway, you know, something other, and then 5 minutes later he'd come past again. And it'd be fucking about 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, and we'd be talking, and he'd be on his 9th, 10th lap, and he'd be like that, going past, literally like walking, you know, past us, like, we didn't take any fucking notice of him. And it would be about half an hour later, say, he'd be on his last lap, and he'd be literally coming past, and he'd be fucking sweating, and, you know, literally on his knees, with this fucking bag of cement on his back. Fucking hell. And like I say, we didn't give a fuck, you know, whether he did it or not, but he liked the challenge. But yeah, anyway, and that's just a few stuff we used to do there. Absolutely fucking hilarious. So that's some Blackthorn tales. But yeah, good days, happy days. It was the late 80s. Absolutely fucking crazy we were. All good fun though. It was all good fun. And another time there was Pen-y-Bryn started building. How did it go now? And there was a bloke across the way, and he came over saying, how the fuck did I do it now? It was a prank phone call. can't think how I did it now. I used to think up of these things, and he came across. Oh, and he said he was trying to trace his daughter or something. His daughter, and he wasn't the whereabouts, and she was working in something. I can't remember how we did it now. Fuck, I'm trying to think now for this video, for Blackthorn video. How the fuck did it work? I'll switch this off, and if I remember, I'll get back to you. Yeah, I remembered how I did it now. He came across, and I said, yeah, we've traced her. She's working in hairdressers in Anglesey or something like that. Oh yeah, something. He said, yeah. He says, I'll get her on the phone. You just wait outside there. I'll go in the office and get her on the phone. She's in a hairdresser, and it's called V&D's. All right, yeah. So I went in the office and I phoned up a sexually transmitted disease clinic, and I said something. Oh yeah, just hold on a second. So I asked him in, and I says that yeah, remember it's called V&D's. So he goes on the phone and he says, hello? Yeah, is that V&D's? Hey? Yeah, is that V&D's? Oh, sorry about that. Must have the wrong number. Put the phone down. He said, you fucking bastards. That was, well, I couldn't remember how I did it. But anyway, that's some of the tales of Blackthorn. Fucking hell, some of the laughs we used to have. Don't know how long this has gone on for. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.